Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. Today we're going to be doing a review video of See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt. This is a Lizzie Borden retelling and I am going to just do a quick review of it. I really liked this. I really liked it. Is it one of my favorite books of all time? No. It's a great book, but it is not like the most beautiful, well executed, stunning thing I've ever read. I enjoyed it though. I think for what it is, it's fantastic. It is a thriller slash murder mystery kind of thing. It has a lot of interesting little folklore in it, which is what Lizzie Borden really is a folktale. She's become a folklore in and of herself. So for me, I grew up in Maine, and in Maine, we're close enough to Massachusetts that Lizzie Borden was something that we grew up with as like playground songs. So kind of like Ring Around the Rosie, we would grow up with Lizzie Borden Took an Axe. Pretty similar in terms of darkness as well, anyway. This story, though, takes Lizzie Borden's story as a murderer and turns it on its head and gives you reasonable doubt as to whether or not she actually did it. How much of it is historically accurate? I don't know. How much of it is historically, made to just be kind of fun? I'm not sure. But I can definitely tell you that it put some reasonable doubt into my mind that she would have done it had it been true and the story had gone closer to this. So this story talks about Lizzie, her sister Emma, the parlor maid, and a man who has been hired to speak to their father about his treatment of his daughters. So Lizzie Borden and her sister are children of Mr. Borden and Mrs. Borden, who Mrs. Borden died. And she died when Lizzie was very young and Emma was old enough to remember her and old enough to have a relationship with her. Mr. Borden takes his second wife, and that is Mrs. Borden, and she is not a nice person. She is aggressive and cruel and cold and really, really pushes each of the girls' buttons and makes it very clear that she has favorites when she has them and doesn't like either of them when she doesn't. It's really, really twisted and messed up how this woman portrays herself towards these little girls. So Emma and Lizzie grow up in a situation where they are 100% reliant on each other and the experience of one another's life. But then, as they get older, Lizzie gets offered an opportunity to go traveling, and Emma has always wanted to go traveling but has had to put it on hold because of Lizzie, and now Lizzie gets to go away for a while. There is some sibling rivalry that occurs, there is some hardships that come out of it, but overall the two of them love each other very much and they are very, very closely knit. The parlor maid gets to see everything, and she has seen all of the abuse and all of the cruelty and everything else that has come out of this family, and she is trying to get back home to Ireland, I believe, and she is a young girl about the same age as Lizzie who wants to go home. Right before the murders occur, you find out that the parlor maid has been saving money in a box, and then the money is to send her back home. And Lizzie Borden's stepmother finds the money and becomes furious with the maid. The person who finds both the dead bodies is Lizzie. Lizzie finds her father cut to pieces and then comes downstairs in a panic and is completely confused and disillusioned and comes in and out of reality of feeling like she should clean up the mess because Mrs. Borden wouldn't like it, or she should clean up the mess because her father wouldn't want a dirty house, and she is just completely oblivious to everything that is going on around her, and unabashedly so. The police are asking her questions and trying to get to the bottom of what she knows about what happened, and she has no answers for them. She is completely aloof. The parlor maid is able to give some information, but not enough. She believed that Mrs. Borden was out, but Mrs. Borden has actually also been cut up and has been put into a room higher in the house. While this is all going on, you learn about a gentleman who has been hired by their uncle, who is the brother of their late mother, to speak directly to their father about the abuse that both girls have been suffering, and to try and put an end to the suffering of their abuse. This man, though, we know is potentially violent, potentially evil, and has no trouble killing for the point of revenge, and he is potentially a suspect as well. As the story unfolds, you find out more and more little gems and nuggets about each and every character and why they could potentially be involved in this murder, what they had as motives, and why they would go against everybody else and murder these people. And it turns out almost everyone has a motive. I loved this book. I thought it was so much fun. I highly recommend it, especially if you're looking for a more thriller type read. I kind of wish I could have read it in the fall, and I probably will reread it again. Maybe not this year, but next year in the fall, because I definitely think that this is a good one to reread for like trying to pick up on little cues here and there. I know I missed some, so I'm very excited to get back into that. This book I'm going to be purchasing in the final edition when it does come out. This is a proof. It was sent to me by Grove Atlantic Publishing. Thank you so much to Grove Atlantic. I really appreciate this book, and I am so happy I got to review it, and I can't wait to work with you again. Thank you for the opportunity, and I will see you all in my next review.